Okay, so really quick video. I wanted to show you guys some of the shielding and stuff that I worked on. I noticed a video on a plain truth that, well, apparently he was going into a subject known as biomagnetic therapy. So I was curious about that. I checked Amazon for if it had anything on it, right? And I noticed that they were selling like bracelets and stuff. And some of these bracelets actually had their metal made out of copper. It was copper metal, and it was basically the magnets attached to them, right? So I'm figuring, like, you know something, this is not the first time I've seen something like this. So I thought about it. You know how like heavy metals travel through you know, sometimes when you ingest foods from a canned good that has heavy metals in it, you know how they got heavy metals in the vaccinations. You know how they put heavy metals out in the atmosphere when they're spraying those chemtrails. So I thought about it, and I'm like, you know something, they charging some of these prices for these pendants and these you know, these manufactured bracelets, they're charging a lot of money. Those magnets don't look very powerful. They're not very large. So I decided to basically recycle one of the things I was working on. And as you see here, this is it. It's not finished. I still got to add like maybe either one or two more of these magnets to it. Then I'll be able to just add a loop on the end of on the last one, and then I'll be able to just attach to this. But as you see, they got the keychain part right there, another keychain part here. So that's another good thing. All you need is just basically some decent sized magnets and just some other parts, some copper wiring, and you're good to go. Just that it's easy. It's this loop on each end, and then attach the two, and then it's just keep going down like in a chain length. Now then, I've showed this thing before. I'm gonna show it again. This is basically the most powerful shielding I've ever made, though. But this thing right here, as you see what is that? That's the orgonite pendant that I have on there, which promotes high positive energy. You see, it's got the copper on the inside. You see also the shungite that I have attached to it, which also has a copper coil on it. And then this whole thing, this whole bottom section here is all magnets stacked up in twos, and they're stacked up against each other in sets of two on their repelling ends. So each two are basically just being pushed together with their you know, repelling ends. Let me tell you something. When you make this, the first time you make this thing and you put it on, you're gonna feel a heightened sense of positive energy just skyrocketing. All right, you're gonna feel like yourself being forced to smile. Literally, you feel yourself making it more easier to smile when you have this thing on. I'm not joking. Another guy, last time I showed this thing, there was another guy who made it himself as well. He said like this thing was amazing to him, because I'm guessing he must have had the parts to do it, and he decided to go right ahead. And yeah, so basically, these magnets, the part that's going to be on my, you know, facing towards my skin is going to be the parts that basically pull, you know, the parts that pulls metals to it. So therefore, helping me basically siphon these heavy metals out of my bloodstream, allowing me to basically get this nano out of my system, because this stuff travels through the blood. It is in your bloodstream, attached to your nerves. You start, you know, when you have something like this on you, that powerful, it might not take very long for this stuff to basically, you know, for it to really kick in, and me, you know, noticing the difference because of how powerful these magnets are. I got to keep it at a safe distance from the phone, because as you know, magnets and electronics don't get along. Especially, I'm pretty sure most of you seen what magnets do if you put it to a television screen. Yeah, not a pretty sight. But anyway, that's just a video I wanted to show you all. Don't worry. Most of you, you probably will notice it right about now. I'm not using a screen recorder to do this. This is the camera. I don't recommend anybody to use their their phone cameras for selfie vids. I don't recommend it, because they are trying to collect facial recognition. At this point, they've been collect facial recognition there all the time. But anyway, like it's just that when you're not really using it, just keep the tape over your camera lens, because I'm telling you, Apple, the company Apple, admitted to basically peeping Toming, telling people, well, like if you, and I think I've mentioned this before, but again, I will mention it so people will know in case I didn't. It turns out Apple ended up sending up a letter to everybody to know, and this was on the Plain Truth, and it mentions, well, you know, if you put tape over. Oh wait, no, that wasn't a Plain Truth? That was Jeff Censored that mentioned that. That's where I got that from. But anyway, they ended up saying, well, like if you put tape over your device, your Apple device is going to damage the circuitry of the device. Bullshit. Bullshit. And Apple just admitted that they've been spying on their customers. I think the reason why a lot of people were like going for Apple, I think the whole thing was like a setup when it came to when Apple first launched. They allowed people the idealism to think like that Apple was like free from hacking and all that crap. Bullshit. And TIs will tell you because they experienced what the hell happens with an Apple device when it gets hacked. It is incredibly difficult to unhack that thing. Now I've never experienced it, but this is basically going from what I was told from other TIs and what they had to deal with. But anyway, this is basically all I wanted to show you all what I was working on. I'm just really not doing much today, just relaxing. And I ended up noticing that, so I decided to basically, work on this. And I'm gonna let you know on an update on how this turns out. And I hope everybody's staying as safe as they can, as strong as they can. Both my love and prayers will go out to all of you. Take care.